I'm Phil Sexton. I'm the publisher and community leader for the writing division of F&W Media. The presentation that we're doing for Digital Book World is a survey of both aspiring and published authors. It was submitted to our list of newsletter subscribers, but it was also submitted to members of the RWA, members of the SFWA, published authors who have pretty strong feelings about traditional publishing versus self-publishing. And what we found, I think the major takeaway, was that the authors who have done both, traditional publishing and self-publishing, are the ones that are the most aggressive in terms of promoting themselves in social media. They're the ones that have more revenue streams of income, so they're as prone to self-publish as they are traditionally published, which I think is a very important thing for traditional publishers to realize, is that the better educated and the more experience an author has in self-publishing, the more likely they are to make that as their choice to publish the next time. So publishers have to figure out what they can offer that makes them more appealing than the self-publishing option every time. I think one of the ways that traditional publishers could really help their authors is, as they've pulled back on marketing for all but their A-list titles, or some minimal marketing for their mid-list titles, they need to look at empowering an author to do a lot of that themselves. Many traditional publishers feel like the author needs to come to them with a platform already created, or with the knowledge of how to create a platform. I know a lot of publishers will give authors a packet that says, here's how to market yourself, here are the things that you should be doing to help our efforts. I think what publishers could do in order to really make themselves of greater value to the author is to give them a little more one-on-one attention in terms of consulting regarding how to develop a platform, how to do these things, and maybe assist them. Maybe they could offer training sessions or online webinars. One of the things Writer's Digest does is tries to provide a lot of information to authors about next steps, how to improve the awareness of their followers in terms of what new books are coming out, what they're doing, where they are. So I think there's a lot that publishers can do, but it does take a lot of effort, so it's a hard move to make. You know, it's interesting, if you look at the data that came back in our survey, self-published authors are actually the least active in terms of building their own platform. Even though they have no marketing support from a publisher, they're the ones that are tweeting the least, they're blogging the least, they're on Facebook the least. If you look at a published author, they're more aggressive, they're more invested, and I would suspect that's in part because the publisher is pushing them to do that. The ones who are performing the best are the ones who, again, have done both, who kind of understand that maybe they've been pushed by a traditional author to invest in social media and build their own platform, but they know from self-publishing experience that the way to really see some revenue is to drive those sales yourself. And so those are the people who are the most active, are the ones that have experience in both worlds. I think the thing that surprised me most about the survey results were a couple things. One is that self-published authors make a little more money on average than I was expecting in terms of annual revenue. But the big thing that was interesting was the fact that those authors who are self-publishing and traditionally publishing make substantially more than authors who only traditionally publish. So I think that was pretty interesting. The transmedia author, I think, will be the author of the future, because that's where the money is. And I think that's where they have the most control, that gives them the most options. So we have another conference called Story World, which is all about transmedia, and I would expect something like that you'll see a lot more of and it'll become a lot more popular.